My name is Chris Ward. Um, I'm the managing general partner for Memshala Enterprises LLC. I have been in real estate since 1998. Was a really successful real estate agent, closed many cases. I did credit repair for a lot of my clients. I started um, in 1998 as a fledgling real estate agent. When you first get started, you had to come up with clients. And so I had a credit repair business that I have been doing. I'm working with people's credit. And most of the clients that I took on did not have the credit nor the down payment. I'm also a financial advisor. Okay. And I want to say accountant, but more like a financial advisor. I do numbers. Numbers come very easily for me. So as a real estate agent, I learned the real estate business from the corporate side, and that I was working for a broker, Century 21 Western Homes on Rosecrans in California. And I had a teaching general partner there who taught the ins and outs every Saturday they taught and did very well. And I closed many cases where people who had never, for 3 generations, nobody ever owned a house. And we showed them into houses. I put most of them in I put most of them in condos. My watch is talking. Um, that had never, because they couldn't afford anything. The price of real estate in California, even then, was somewhat expensive compared to the rest of the country. But the real estate investment business is not something that it really makes a difference what the price is, because we're going to find properties that are under market. But I did that very well, and then they FHA lender found me, heard that I was putting people into homes, people who needed down payment assistance, people who didn't have down payment, whose credit wasn't absolutely great and needed all the extra help just to be able to take their first home in 4 generations. And that I went to lunch with them, and one of my benefactors, because I have not only Memshala Enterprise LLC, I'm a minister, but I have other nonprofits, and my vision is to work with hurting and underserved people. And so I went to lunch with him, and we sat with Great Western Financial Group, which was a FHA bank, and we sat there and he gave us lunch. And I'm just show you grace. And I went with him, and as we were going through the lunch, I didn't know why I was there. I thought I was with my friend, my benefactor. And as we ate, the man slid a gas card over to me, and he said, "That's yours," because they were out in the Inland Empire, which was quite a haul from where I was living at the time in Inglewood, and it was expensive. They wanted me to come out there 3 days a week to train to be a loan officer. Okay, so loans from I learned how to do loans from a FHA or government restrictions. I learned how to do regular commercial loans and did very well with them. But while I was sitting at dinner, he slid the gas card over. He said, "That's for you." And I said, "Thank you very much, sir. I really do appreciate that." And he slid it over. And I just continued to eat and was very grateful for what he did. And then somewhere before dessert, he slid over a cell phone. Now, at that time, cell phones weren't as popular as they are now, and they're not. Certainly, you couldn't get one for $30 a month, unlimited everything. They looked like big walkie-talkies, and he slid the phone over to me. He said, "That's yours, and we're paying for it." I was like, "Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate that." And he thought out, sometimes if you don't understand the appointed time for you, you get excited before you get to the end result. So we were getting ready to eat, and he was getting ready to pay the bill. He said, "Chris Ward, I want you to come to work for me." I said, "Doing what?" He said, I'm going to train you to be a loan officer. We're a direct lender. We have FHA. We have our own money. And we're in the Inland Empire, which is Riverside, other areas, up to 90 to 100 miles away from where we're at. He said, "We want to move into LA. And we heard a lot of good things about you." And so I accepted his offer, okay, and immediately went into my office, which was Century 21 is a very nationally known name for real estate brokers. And I told my broker, I said, listen, I want to do loans in the office as well as do the real estate. So now I have the clients that I cultivated, then I had the lending for them. So I was getting paid both ways. I got paid as a real estate agent. I got paid as a loan officer. And you know, if you know about the real estate industry, if you have an office where you're going in all the time, and he trained us to be in the office because people would walk in looking to buy houses or whatever, and if you were there and you were working, you could pick those deals up. The average deal at that point was like around $430,000 per house, and that's in Hawthorne, Lawndale. The office was actually in Lawndale. So 430, which now those houses are running somewhere around 8 to 900,000. So it just goes to show you how things happen. So I told him, I said, well, I won't bother the rest of the agents, and we'll take a trial, because he didn't like lenders coming into the office and soliciting his real estate agents because he didn't know about them. Because what happens is if they couldn't close the deal, then his office lost money. I said, well, what I'll do is I'll do mine, I'll close my deals. And then if anybody else wants to use the FHA or any other lenders, because they had other lending programs besides FHA, but that's what they specialized in. And then would you allow them to come to me if they wanted to? And he said, yes. So I was closing loans and real estate deals. I was closing loans for all the other agents in the office. I was I had buyers and listers. He taught us how to be a listing agent, because that's where you can control your own destiny if you're a listing agent. So I said all that to say I was very successful. That started in 98. From 98 to 2005, I did very well. In 2005, I got into my first investing deal. Okay. The investing deal, there was a man that came, and there was a family trust, and he had total control over the property. The property was a 3-bedroom two. It was in Watts, and it was the actual deal was $212,000 at that time, just to show you the difference between the ARV after repair value of a house in Lawndale versus that which was in Watts at the time. It was almost twice as much money to buy a house in Lawndale. So I took the deal. He signed it. I became the listing and buyer's agent. Okay. I had both sides. And then I was attempting to find a buyer for it, because if they had 700 scores at that time, they could buy it, pay and put nothing down on it, and then take equity out of the house. We arranged the loans. The person who signed that loan would have gotten $40,000 cash out of a $212,000 deal. So if you're a novice and you haven't done these things before, you might not understand what a great deal that was. So I had the buyer and the lister, I had the seller I had the buyer's loan and the other buyer that was coming. I had 4 sides on one deal of 212,000, and did very well. But when I got ready to find a buyer for the property, signature loan for them, nobody wanted to do it. They didn't believe that the paperwork was set up where they could make $40,000 and own a house just by signing their name. I said, well, listen, I have all control of the property. I'm doing all the paperwork. And so I couldn't find anybody. Everybody thought that deal was too good to be done. And I said, and I prayed, and I said, listen, I'm about to lose this money. I was going to make mine on that side. I was just looking at making the real estate and the loan income from that. And I was praying, and I looked at my credit. I said, wow, my credit is good. My household credit is good. Let's buy this property. And I thought, well, why don't I buy it? And I did. And that's how I got into real estate investing. Turned around and sold it the same day, made $40,000 for it, just like that. So I flipped a house that I never lived in, and I was off and running. And over the next 5 years, I had multiple deals like that where I was working in real estate. So I understand the lending part of it. I understand the real estate, the broker part of it. And actually, I had my own branch office. They gave me, I did so well with Great Western Financial Group, they gave me my own lending office. and I worked the office and did very well. It didn't. That company was not associated with Great Western. That we used to have the Great Western Forum out here. It was a different company. That was a bank, and this was a FHA lender. So, and right around 2006, at the beginning of 2006, the prices we entered a recession. Okay, much like we're in right now, and the prices started going down. I sold all my property, took my money out, and became a financial advisor at that point because the whole real estate industry shut down, and it was just safer to be doing something else. And I wrote insurance and did those kind of things. So that's a little background on me. 2007, I was out through 2010. I got back in, and about 2015, I saw the market started to loosen up a little bit, and I went back in as an investor because as an investor, there's a lot of different initiatives you can have to find houses. And obviously, at that time, after the recession, there were lots of foreclosure homes. These banks were selling in 2010. I looked at lots of homes that were 315 homes at one time. Now, I didn't have the money at that particular time to buy these properties. You could buy 100 homes for $50,000, and a lot of them had titles that need to be cleared up. A lot of them were repos that had been sitting for a while. The counties and cities have houses that sit and they have tickets on them and they have back taxes on them and that kind of stuff. Those are excellent investment opportunities. But they were selling. The banks had so many houses as a result of the real estate market closing down that they were selling them. I looked at one lot; it was over 500 homes, 512. Out of that 512, if you had 30 houses that the deeds were good on them, and that they didn't have any liens against them once you paid them, and the title was clear, you would make 3 times what you spent for it, just out of 30, and the other 470 was just gravy and time. You needed a good title officer to work with you to clear up everything, and over the next couple of years, you probably could have made over millions of dollars in that. Was unable to do that, but that's where we're going now. Okay, that's a little background on me. My partner and my managing director, okay, Tiffany Bill. You guys will see her picture on the screen there. I got back into the investment business in 2015. By 2016, I had made just under 200,000. Now, why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that if you apply yourself and the principles that we have between Tiffany and myself, we got somewhere around $250,000 of education that we have taken on, and we have the ability to assist you and develop you into being an investor's real estate agent. I mean, not a real estate agent, but an investor, real estate investor. It takes time. This is not a get rich quick scheme. Now, when I got in, I was just very fortunate in that I had compassion on people, and I had to do a lot of work, 3, 4, 5 months, maybe 6 months of credit work to get the people's credit to where they could be FHA, and I did budgets for them to be able to do that. We're not looking at doing all that right now, and I'm not looking to get back as a real estate. You do not need a real estate license to work with us or to be a real estate investor. You do not need your own money. We have money to buy houses, to flip houses, okay? And there's plenty of money that's out there. Now, what you need to decide is, it says, what is Memshala Enterprises LLC's vision? Our vision, let me say it again. Our vision is to create a corporate structure that operates by city, state, and region, where every house that comes on the market under normal sale prices, we can identify and have the ability to make an offer on it. We just had a deal where we made a cash, and these are cash offers. We have the resources to do that, okay, for any potential real estate investor. And I say potential because everybody's not going to be invited Okay, you're going to have to. You're going to have homework, and you're going to have to get your homework done. And there's a homework assignment in the next part. Why? What is your why? You're going to tell me why you want to be a real estate investor. But we had the outcomes necessary, and over in my career, just between real estate loans and the investing business, I made somewhere or cleared grossed somewhere. I actually haven't done the numbers on it, but I'd have to say $400,000 to $500,000, and that's a lot of money. And I probably would have made a lot more than that if I had not been started Memshala Enterprises LLC, which is primarily it is the company, it's the base company that we're going to work out of. But I started a real estate training school out of my church. The facility we had a conference room from 2016 and 17 through 19, I think it was. And Tiffany can refresh my memory. We ran a training school because I got a directive to and an idea. At that time, the houses, we had people from Asia, we had people from Indonesia, we had people from South America, we had people from Europe walking up and down the street. The church that I attend is in the Century and Vermont area, buying houses in the inner city right up from under the people, and they were gentrifying the houses. And somebody said, "Well, what is gentrification?" I'm gonna buy the house, I'm gonna fix it up, I'm gonna raise the rent $500 on it, based on what it was before. The owner of the house lost it. So the people that lived in those neighborhoods were no longer able to live there. They couldn't afford a $500, $600, $700 a month increase in rent. So I started a school to teach African Americans and Hispanics, and it's not a racial thing. It's a who lived in the neighborhood thing. The people that lived in the neighborhood and gave them an opportunity to fight and chance to keep their properties, but also learn the real estate investing business. So what I did was the people that we trained, I put them under contract on an NC, ND, non-disclosure, non-circumvent, where they actually were working in partnership with us. Okay, and you'll see why a little later as we go. Okay, it says our experience. I gave you that information from '98 to present, and why we are doing this work. I just told you we want to edify you and build you up financially, so that you can live. Okay, in this situation that we're in right now, there is a major recession. The Treasury Department, the Fed, they can't stop it. They don't know what to do. Their thing is, our president is sitting there writing bills for 87,000 new IRS agents to come and tax us more. He's going to need it to try to get it because he want to raise taxes on everybody to pay for these trillions of dollars that he spent. But this is the real estate investing business is a way to insulate yourself from poverty, lack, and shortage. Now, we go here. Number 2 says, what is your why? Selah, stop, think about it. What is your why? Why are you interested in becoming a real estate investor? Selah, I want you to think about it. Why are you interested in becoming a real estate investor? Okay, now, before you will be allowed potentially to participate with us, okay, and I'll tell you why it's the benefits of participating with us. You're going to have to, can you scroll that up a little bit for me, Tiffany? It says, what is your why? Why are you interested in becoming a real estate investor? Now, within the next 24 hours, you're going to email me a 1-paragraph statement, not more than 5 sentences that tell 5 to 6 sentences that tells me why you are interested in becoming a real estate investor. It will be mailed to our company email. It says chris@MEMENTLLC.com. Okay. It says include your full name, age, email address, cell phone number, and an updated resume. I want to see what you've been doing because people see something and say, oh yeah, I want to do that, and they like grasshoppers, they're jumping all over the place. We're looking for people who can take on a task, learn the task, complete the task, and finish it with excellence. Okay. So we want your full name, age, email, and cell phone number so we can stay in touch with you by cell or text. Now, somebody said, well, why is all, and I want you to put it on a Word document, and I need it sent to Chris at MEMENT LLC within 24 hours. If you can't do that, then guess what? You do not possess the skills to do what we need to do, because one of the things that happened during the pandemic is that the real estate business became digital. Now, there is, in our business, there's a place and time for you. You're going to have to get somebody to sign a contract. You're going to have to talk to somebody. Okay. It says an updated resume if you have one. If you don't, you need to get with somebody and get one. I want to see what you've been doing. In the email that you will send, if you have any brief questions, please include them in another paragraph with the above information in your email too. There's the email address again. Please write it down. Don't call or text me. What is your email address? You should have it. Most of you guys already have it. Okay. I need that. I want to see what you've been doing. Now, if you haven't been doing real estate, or that's not being held against you. A lot of times I like working with new real estate investor trainees. We call them interns, because I don't have to try to undo all the systemic teaching of real estate agents and brokers, and this is how we do it and all that. Because most real estate agents don't understand what it is to be an investor's real estate agent. Now, it can be a benefit. You can cultivate your own clients and all that if you're a real estate agent and you understand fully what an investor's real estate agent is. We're going to go through that in a course. What will we do? In number 3, it says current market analysis and future projections. We're going to show you how to value a house. This is the basic skill. In your day-to-day life, once you learn these skills, and they're easy to learn, you're going to have homework, and you're going to need this, you're going to need to do this on a regular basis. If you're not, I won't be mad with you. We're going to work with the people who do that, okay, on a regular basis. Your first assignment, once you finish this assignment, will be your house, your building. If it's an apartment building, you're going to need to value it. I want to know what's valued on it, and we'll help you find out how much is owed on it, okay? Because that's the other thing, the loan to value. Say it with me, loan to value. Loan to value, you need to know that, because that tells you what the equity is in the house. You're going to learn all these terms, okay? Current market analysis and future projections. What is the appreciation of real estate? Real estate is a very sound investment. It's the most sound investment on the face of the earth, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. It says, why should you be a real estate investor? It says 98 to 99% of all first-time millionaires started with real estate investing and acquisition to reach millionaire status. So think about that. 99 out of every millionaire on the face of the earth started in real estate investing. They started buying property, buying and fixing property, buying, fixing, and selling property, buying, fixing, and renting property. It says most of the portfolios of millionaires still have a large portion of real estate in their investment portfolios. So they're still doing it. And guess what? We'll help you find a niche in your town, city, or state, okay, your county, that where you can identify properties where you can make some money. Some of you may make 10 grand on, some of you may make 100,000 on. We don't know. But guess what? Right now, $10,000 would change. The average person in America is $30,000 in debt. And if they're not, they borrowing just to be able to eat and get gas, okay? And they have less than $500 in the bank account, if any money. So what would 10,000, one small deal, you make $10,000 cash, okay? As a partner with us, that would change take it back down just a little bit, Tiffany. that would change your life. $10,000 cash immediately would change your lives. It says most of the portfolios of millionaires still have a large portion of real estate in their investment portfolios. Why? Why did they choose real estate? They chose real estate because real estate never loses money. Now, you can lose money as a real estate investor, but the value of real estate goes up every year. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to see if you can answer it. I got everybody on mute, so you can't answer it right now because this video will be going on our YouTube channel. Okay, this Zoom will be going on our YouTube channel for all the other first-time real estate investor interns that are thinking about getting in. Okay, real estate in their investment. Why did they choose real estate? There are 7.9 billion people on the face of the earth. There are things that get large and go down. Money goes up and money goes down. If you look at the stock market right now, the stock market is in a bull market. Now, what does that mean? They losing money. They pulling money out of that to put money in real estate. I'll show you as a real estate investor how that's a very advantageous for you. We won't get into all the specifics, but them wanting to buy real estate is a great thing. Why did they choose real estate? Because they knew they couldn't lose money on it. Real estate is the number one way to accumulate cash and get equity on your money every day. When you turn the calendar, they're making more money because it's going up in value. Why? Those 7.9 billion people, 4.5 billion of them are women and the men. And when women and men get together, they have children. And children means in generations, the population on the face of the earth is increasing. And everybody who is living wants to have a domicile, a house, an apartment, something to cover their head in case it starts raining. And if you watch what's going on with the weather, I was looking at the weather last week, and they had Hurricane Ian come, and then this other one, I forget, I don't know if it was Stacy, I don't know what the name of it was, came, and all the people in Florida shores, these beach houses, homes, they lost all their property. That people had been there 40 years. It got flooded out. So people are losing real estate property, not because they were in foreclosure or they weren't prudent with their money. It's just that the land itself is making vacant men. Okay, there's reasons for that. I will not get into that right now. I want to ask you a question. What is your current retirement plan? Now, I asked for your ages because I want to see where you are in life. Okay. What is your current retirement plan? How much? It says, where are your current assets today? Are you just on Social Security? Do you have a 401k? Do you have an IRA, a Roth IRA, a pension, VA income, rental properties? What do you have that's in your portfolio right now? And what is your net worth? If you do what we ask you to do and you participate, okay, your net worth over the next 5 years is going to double. I'm saying that just right out the box because it's a no-brainer. One of the reasons I say that is during COVID, our president signed these emergency orders that nobody could be evicted. Okay, no matter how much they owe, this, that, and the other. Okay, and that moratorium for the United States of America recently expired. It's expired. So now all the people, and in California, because of the prices of the real estate and the rents were so high, many people who could have paid their rent that didn't. And it's not only California. I'm sure I'm not looking at all the numbers. We've primarily been operating here, but we can assist you in operating anywhere in all 50 states and territories. Okay. Like I was looking at Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is an excellent place. They had a storm there, but it put them in a situation where there's a lot of property that's uninhabited. And Puerto Rico is a destination. There's a way to make money with that Airbnb. Hello, is anybody listening to me? Okay. There are ways to make money if you own land, if you own land with buildings on it, whether it's commercial or residential, guess what? You're going to increase in wealth. It says here, will this be enough for you? Okay. Now with inflation, a famine. What is famine? Let's look at Ukraine right now. Ukraine is the #1 wheat producer, okay, in the world. And when they went into the war, they stopped producing. They missed one and a half. They missed the whole harvest season. Bread is up. I thought they said 37%. Bread is up 37%. Why? The law of supply and demand. When the supply dried up, the price went up. Okay. We don't even want to talk about gas and the other groceries. Eggs is up 33%. Milk and dairy products. Okay. Somebody say you shouldn't eat a lot of dairy products. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna eat me some. I'm gonna have me some cheese on my burger. Y'all pray for me because I need help. But anyway, yeah. The question is, will this be enough for you? Especially in an inflated economy worldwide, what is the price of bread going to be next year? Only God knows. Nobody knows what it's going to be. So you need to be in an increased mode. If you're in a survival mode and you think you're going to ride it out, I venture to say you're in a very treacherous space. Selah, think about it. If you're not gaining, you're losing, because every day the price of stuff goes up. The dollars that you have coming in your 401 that you putting in your 401s, your IRAs, your pensions, your VA income, your rental properties, the dollars that you take are shrinking. Okay, in other words, they're gonna buy less. I was looking at the packaging of some stuff I had bought from a major food retailer, and oh, I know it was some hummus. And I remember I hadn't bought hummus in a couple of years. Okay. And I like hummus, but I just something that I hadn't bought. And when I looked at the packaging, it's 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 only it's 3/5 the size as it was, and the price has gone up on it. I was like, wow, they done really cut this packaging down on here. And if you look at the stuff that you buying, food and coffee, used to get, well, you're getting 12 ounces of coffee now for the same price that you used to get 16 ounces of coffee beans. Okay. So it's a situation where you're going to need to make a move. Can you do it by working on a job? JOB, just over broke. Can you do it? Can you keep up with inflation by just working on a job or multiple jobs? I know people, the husband working, the wife working, the children is working. They doing papers and cleaning yards and cutting grass and doing all that. Everybody in there, the dog is barking for money because they need the money to maintain themselves. Will what you're doing right now and for your families, we're going to talk about it in a minute. If not, what is your plan? Selah, think about it. What is your plan? Every time you go outside your house and you look at your house and you look at the neighborhood you live in, I want you to see money coming to you. Real estate is property. And at some point, and the other thing, one of the strategies we looked at, and somebody said, oh, you're very morbid. People are dying and leaving the states with real estate in it every day. We talked to one of our partners, and we may get him to come on to do one of our classes as we proceed with the people who are going to go forward, is probate deals. See, in his probate deal, you need $69,000 to secure the property once you attain the bid, and you're bidding against other people for that property. And he's been in the business for 30 some years. That's all he does. He's a real estate agent that works with probates. What? And he's a Jewish man, and he's doing very well. Okay. It says here, what will Memshala Enterprises LLC offer you? Okay. Now we included a link here. Okay. We included a link. Can you click the link, Tiffany? And let's see if we can get it to play. These are advertisements that we did to put on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay. And let's just take a look. Can we get the sound? Yeah, well, we're having a technical difficulty. And I'm sure if you watch TV now, all these guest hosts appearing, their mics go out, and we need to get that done.
Have you ever thought about what it would be like to be financially free by learning the real estate investment business? Have you ever seen a real estate investor seminar commercials on TV? We have, and they charge you tens of thousands of dollars to show you a real estate investment education system without any personal help. A competent, viable, local real estate group in Southern California with over $100 million in real estate foreclosure transactions has a limited amount of space to train a few good men and women. We're looking for teachable, trainable, diligent people who have up to 20 hours a week learning a business that can make them financially free for a lifetime. This is Chris Ward, Ohio State football Hall of Famer and All-Pro in the NFL. If you are interested in becoming a real estate investment intern, please call me at 424-888-6016. Once again, you can call me or text me at 424-888-6016.
Wow, that was good. Thank you, Tiffany, for your assistance. Okay, so let's go back to our Word document. So
Welcome.
it says, what will Memshala Enterprise LLC offer you?
Square feet. Features.
Oh, okay, we're here. What will Memshala Enterprise LLC offer you? We showed the video. An affordable education plan that will give you step-by-step instructions on where to start to create an effective business plan for real estate. And the reason we say an effective business plan, there's about 15 or 16 different strategies that you can take, and you can combine strategies, okay, to create income flow for yourself. One is the flip program, okay? That's people who need money. We flip, you buy the property under market, you sell it over market, and that deal can be done in 10 days. Just imagine every 30 days you add every month it goes by, you add 30 to $30,000 to your net income. Okay, that would be great. You got to pay taxes on the money though. It says here, an affordable education plan that will give you step-by-step instructions on where to start to create an effective business plan. We're going to listen. This is nationwide, and so what works in California is a unique market, but we have other unique markets around the country. With the analytics and control of information, we can find a market in your city. There's probably a house sitting not too close from now where the owner wants to sell that house and he needs to get cash because it's in foreclosure. And if it goes to a tax sale or a foreclosure sale, trustee sale, he's going to lose everything. So why wouldn't he take, if it's, in California, if you owed 500,000, why wouldn't you take 600,000 cash, pay that loan off, and walk away with 100,000, as opposed to letting the government take all that money and you lose your house? And besides that, your credit is going to be messed up, and you're going to need a place to live and try to rent a place with a foreclosure on your credit. Why wouldn't you take cash money in 10 days to forego that circumstance? So we're going to help you with that. Scroll. That's pretty much it right there. So we have many different ways. Now notice it says introduction to real estate investing. What will Memshala Enterprises offer you? Continue. You will pay a minimum dollar amount to learn about our pace. Oh, typo. Our what was the word we're gonna put that to? I don't know. We make mistakes.
Well, it's okay. Hi, this is Tiffany. Learn at your own pace.
Oh, learn at your own pace.
Yes,
Lord
right.
have mercy. Help me. I don't have my glasses on. But guess what? I know what I'm talking about. So you can learn at your own pace. We're not going to rush you. If we give you a homework assignment and you can't finish it in the allotted time, okay, just keep it moving. See, one thing's for sure in life, if you can take on a task, complete the task, do it with excellence, you're going to be successful, whether that's at real estate investing or whatever. I have many mentoring schools. Well, I've been mentoring in schools for over 30 years and mentoring people through my church. And many people they like grasshoppers, as I said before. They start out and they never finish anything. Okay. You have to do the homework. Okay. If you don't get it from class to class, we will meet bi-monthly after this every 2 weeks. And then under the proper circumstances, you will have an opportunity to talk to me personally or Tiffany so that we can help you. You will have a one-on-one mentor. You have access to one of the two of us. It says you will receive property analysis. Okay. What is that? You need to know how much the house is worth, how much is owed on it, what kind of condition is in it. We'll show you how to evaluate a house properly. Okay. Phone scripts. Now, this is important because you're not going to sell a house through osmosis. Okay. There is a certain seller mentality and certain psychological stuff you're going to need to know to move that person in the direction they really need to go in. Okay. Some of them are going to be reticent. They're not going to want to do it. See? And I don't blame them. Listen, I've had a house and lost it before. I had a house, it was in a gated community. I had thousands of dollars in the bank. Okay. I leased it with an option to buy because the lease on the place where I was at had expired. And I told the landlord, I said, well, I'll take it month to month. I'm making plans to move. He said, no, you got to go on the first. So I had found a house and we moved into it. I gave the man $15,000 to exercise the lease. Lease option is another way. Land flip is another way. There's all kinds of ways to do it. And it's all legal and it all makes money if you operate it properly. But we were paying him $3,500 a month. Within the first 45 days, we started getting letters saying that the house was in foreclosure. Now, I was a real estate agent and an investor. I did my homework on it, but he hid it some kind of way. And people were knocking on the door saying, would you like to sell your house? Well, that's what I'm saying, phone scripts. And then sometime you're going to have to get out in the street. There's two people that's on this call I talked to about doing house-to-house solicitations. Okay, there's certain ethics about knocking on people's doors, leaving flyers, and introducing yourself to them. Because if they're not in that place now, and many of them will say, no, I'm not interested in selling my house right now. And they may be 3 months getting ready to go into foreclosure. But you left a flyer and you made an impression on them, and you will be the first alternative that they take as they try to find their way out of the trouble that they're in. Okay. So phone scripts are scripts that can be used on the phone or in person. Okay. All the contracts to take on the buying and selling of the houses we have. And that's going to vary some depending on what part of the country that you live in. But my assistant and my partner, Tiffany, is an expert. She's an analytics specialist. We will find right now in my database, I have about to one of the partnerships that I have about 100 title companies and or lawyers who can close properties legally, where we can flip properties. You can buy it and sell it within 10 days. The deal is done. You bought it and you sold it to somebody else, and how to do that. But you're going to need to know how to talk to people. You're going to need to understand the contracts, and we'll go through that. We'll have classes on that so you understand. And then we'll show you what debt to equity the debt to equity analysis is very important. If you are going to be a real estate investor, you need to know how much debt is on the property, and you need to know how much equity is in the property, because between the debt and the equity and the sale price is how you make your money. Okay. So we'll have step-by-step personal mentoring to help you choose a successful real estate investment plan in your local area and anywhere in the United States. Okay. Now notice it says an affordable minimum dollar amount to learn at your own pace. I'm gonna let Tiffany jump in here. Tiffany and I, she was one of my best students before, and that's why I decided to partner with her. I told her today I want to make her a millionaire, okay, because she just has a beautiful heart. She loves people and she's good at what she does, okay. And when you put those three together, man, it's powerful. But I took her to I had been to real estate investing seminars before the pandemic. They were all done in person. So we had Than Merrill, we had Nick Valducci, we had name something for me, Tiffany.
You know them better than I do.
But I do.
Okay.
But there's about 10 major real estate investing programs you can buy. And they will charge you when you went to. So I took her to Nick Valducci because as a real estate investor, I wanted to stay on the cutting edge of what was going on. I had no intention of giving him money to join his program because I was already doing what he was doing. I wanted to see what he was charging for it. And instead of now you went there when I looked up, my daughter Tiffany was at the table in the back. And I went back there. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm getting ready to sign up." I said, "Well, okay, take them through how much it cost you."
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
so I went through Nick's program, and
Nick Valducci.
his program starts in steps, increments. So the first one was like one Friday, it was about $500, just giving you an overview of the real estate investing market and what you can do and all the different options that you have. Then the next step is if you wanted, they call it a bus tour. For 3 days, you stay at a hotel that they contracted and you learn intensive from morning to night about different aspects that was fixing and flipping. And that costs from $12,000 to $15,000. I don't recommend this to anyone. Then the next step was if you wanted some private mentoring to jumpstart your business, that was $25,000. Then throughout the course of my education, I did some tax lien education, and I did some cash flow, rental properties education. That was less expensive. They have different programs like 30 days, 90 days, depending upon who's teaching it. Some of it ranges from $500 to $1,000 to $6,000 to $8,000 if you want a mastermind program for a year with personal coaching. And it could go up to $25,000 to $30,000 depending upon whose program it is. So
So
I've been
$30,000.
yeah, so overall it costs about $60,000, and because I didn't have the money, I used credit cards. So and the thing that I like about this program is I've been with it since 2019 before I started with Nick. And I've been working with Pastor, I call him Pastor Ward, because he is a pastor. I've been working with him from the beginning, and even throughout the pandemic, even though we weren't meeting personally, we met via Zoom often. So I've been blessed, and the program that he has was not just less expensive, it was more in depth. I had personal interaction with him. I would show him and he would help me with deals and just a lot. So I'm very grateful to him. Uh, I I know that all things work together for good. I'm a Christian, so all things work together for good. Um, I regret spending all that money, but I don't regret the things that I learned through
Well,
that
you know what?
process.
Let me just say, I greatly appreciate you re-engaging with me. When I say re-engaging, I'm the president of the National Football League Players Association, and for the last 4 years, that's like having a full-time job and making nothing at it. But I'm in January, that will be up. So we've started our real estate business, got it back, and Tiffany said, "Yeah, let's do it." And you know, the great thing about, what I greatly respect about you is you didn't hesitate. You regret how much you spent, but the knowledge that you learned, okay, from the different programs. We had what was it, the land flip program. There was we show
Yes,
all the different things because everybody will find their niche. Okay,
yes.
but everybody right now since 2019 when Tiffany started, it changed the scope of everything. Who has $30,000 in credit and or $30,000 to pay a real estate investment program, and that's without the mentor. Okay. In other words, you paid 30,000, they give you some CDs, and then most of them went to electronic. That was when it was changing over to be electronic. You could go to a website and log in, and they had all the stuff there. When I first got started back in 98 through 2006, it was CDs. They give you a little CD packet with 30 CDs on there, and you had to stick them in your CD player and listen. Or that sometimes they would be audios. I made audios out of them so I could stick them in my car while I was driving around and listen. And so I attained knowledge. But the thing is, do something. Now, we're not going to be near that. I'm not even talking about money tonight. I'm talking about the edification of your life as a human being, and you improving the circumstances that you living under right now. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I created the school, was to give other people an opportunity. Okay. It says here, why do people regret not getting into real estate investing sooner? Because they look back 10 years, 15 years later, they're 10 years and 15 years older, and we already talked about the inflation. What are they going to do? If you got $100,000 in the 401k, it's shrinking up by the time you get to it. It's only going to be worth 30,000. You're only going to be able to buy 30,000 worth of you. $30,000, you'd be hard pressed to get anything really done with it. You're going to have to live on that. No. Say it with me. No, I won't go. Heck no, I won't go. Why do people regret getting into real estate investing sooner? One of the reasons people don't do it, they're afraid. Oh, he's talking about $1 million. We also talked about $10,000. Somebody said, do you know 95% of everybody that you walked across in your life has never had a $10,000 disbursement at one time in cash? Les was on Let's Make a Deal. This lady was on there. She was spinning the wheel, and she ended up with a zonk, but she got 1,000. But they had 10,000 up there. $10,000 cash is a big deal. It changes your life. It gives you a new perspective on success. You might even sing a song and do a dance. That's what they doing on the Wheel of Fortune, and that's what they was doing. The woman won the 1,000. She said, "I just had a baby, and I want the 10,000." They offered her a window, and you got all kinds of stuff you can do. But if you stay with this business right now, okay, and you don't give up, and like I said, it's not a get rich scheme. And I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna charge you to give you personal mentoring and to hand walk you through your first deal is going to be less than 1% of what you heard Tiffany talking about today. And we'll talk about that personally after I get your homework assignment back, after I know that you're serious about this, after I look at your resume and we go through it. Okay, why do people regret not getting involved in real estate investing sooner? What are some of the benefits of starting now? Passive income. So I said, well, what is passive income? What does that mean? I'm passing my income to somebody else? No, that's what you're doing now. Passive income means you on the golf course and it's the first of the month and you collect $1,500 for a rental property. Or you bought a fourplex, you got a 2-bedroom, 2 in the first unit, 1,200 square feet. So you have what you need to live in a nice neighborhood. And you got three other apartments coming in for $1,200 a month, $3,600 a month just rolling in. So your rent is paid, and you got another $2,400. And all you did was play golf and whatever else you wanted to do. Hello, is anybody listening to me? It says here, what are some of the benefits of starting right now? Passive income, continual personal financial growth and equity. More is better. People say, I don't believe all that, that you need to have money. Well, why do you go to work? Why do you pay all that money to go to school so you can get a job to go to work? Okay. So it's hypocrisy. Listen, this economy that we build on is more is better. And we still live in spite of all the problems that the world is having, that the United States might be having, we are still the most desirable economy and feed and prosper more people than any other country on the face of the earth. I'm a patriot. In the history of mankind. People swimming across rivers now, trying to get into the United States. And not just Hispanic people, all races and creeds are trying to get here. Any way they can to get into this country, because they know if they get a chance here, this is the home of the free and the land of the brave, baby. And if you're brave enough to get out there and get with it, you can be wealthy too. Ooh, I feel my Cheerios on that. Time out for working for somebody else. To ability, watch this, it says here the third thing, ability to create wealth for your family, your heirs, your children when you die. Now somebody says, well, when I'm gone, they do the best they can. That's a selfish mentality. If you have kids, you want to leave them a legacy. I'm working on mine now for the people that, I'm 66 years young. I should show them a picture, but I won't. I don't want y'all to go to sleep thinking about me. Yeah. Oh, that's a joke. But I feel good. My mental acuity is good after 22 years of high contact football. All my limbs is working. Matter of fact, before we went on the Zoom tonight, I know I had a big presentation. I went and walked and stretched every joint on my body. Man, I feel good. Okay. But you have the ability to create wealth for your family, your heirs, your children, when you die. It says, what will other real estate educational programs cost you? Well, we talked about Tiffany. Tiffany spent $60,000. Okay. Now that's not even realistic now. And one of the people that she participated with, he's no longer even in business. I'm not going away. And the skills that you learn here, you can use them for the rest of your life. Okay. Now, somebody said, well, if you're that good and they got $30,000, $60,000, how come you're not charging that? Because you're going to partner with us. I'm going to take my money on the back end. I'm going to train you how to close these deals, and you'll be my partner for whatever percentage we agree on. And normally it starts at 10%. So if we close a deal and it's 100, you get 10,000 out of escrow. Escrow will wire the money to your account. And ain't no checks in the mail and all that. Your money will be wired to you. Okay, that's the way we'll set it up. But you're going to need to sign a contract. So instead of taking the 30,000 up front, okay, and then say, have a good life, go get them, Chris. Go get them, Tiff. Sick them. Call me if you need me, and then I'm going to need another $15,000 just so you can access me personally. No, this is all in one. So we'll get our money on the backside. And normally people that don't pay, if you don't invest something in yourself or in a program, people normally don't do anything. Anytime you give somebody something for free and it's free, they don't do anything with it. They don't value it because they didn't invest anything into it. Say it with me. Free. Y'all seen that commercial. I have. I crack up every time I say, boy, you better watch the fine print. Well, we don't have no fine print. I'm going to make my money by when you make money. Okay. When I teach you how to make money, I'm going to make my money. And I'm a babysit you and counsel you and teach you until you get to that place. Okay. If you decide you don't want it at that point, then guess what? Whatever you invested, we love you. We're going to keep going. But I have to have something for my time because I cannot go. And this is what a lot of real estate investors don't say. They take on people as mentors, and that time that they spend mentoring, okay, is time away from a business where they were making hundreds of thousands or more dollars. So they can charge if they can get away with charging 30,000, that's fine. I'm gonna take mine on the back end. I'll take mine on the back end. I'll love you and I'll be your partner. And at some point, if you really are great person, you learn this, guess what? We can partner on buying properties because I have a plan now to start my own bank where I have my own financing department and everything where I can buy the properties that Memshala Enterprise LLC is able to take, and I don't have to use other people's money. Right now, we're on the OPM, other people's money. Okay, some of them people that's pulling that money out the stock market, they looking to buy real estate, and we're gonna help them do it until we get to the place where we can control every part of it. It says, what will other real estate educational programs cost you? $30 to $100,000, and they want that money up front. Tiffany, I'll tell it because when I looked up, she was sitting next to me, and Tiffany got up. The man said, "If you're interested, come to the back table." Boy, when they put you in that back table, Lord have mercy, she didn't have the $30,000 or whatever it was. And so, what did they do for you, Tiffany? How did they work that for you?
Well, they had financing already set up. They 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 they
She
taught you
laughing.
how to. I never had a credit card, so um yeah, so well,
You
I
signed the
never had a
credit card
credit
application.
card that
Uh-huh.
that I activated, I should say. I never had a credit card that I activated before I experienced the Nick for
Hmm.
Tucci program. So they they signed me up for two different credit cards. I was approved, and then the balls started rolling where you pay for these programs. And
Yeah. Well, that monthly
I
payment starts coming in, and
well, thank God I was able to get like I think a 6 months to a year
oh, okay.
without
See,
having,
well,
yeah,
that's
but
great.
still,
But still,
yeah,
she said. And so I'm
yes.
saying that to you to let you know our program, we're gonna work with you, we're gonna love you, we're gonna bring you to a place of profitability. What will other real estate educational programs cost you? 100,000. Somebody said, well, were you gonna tell us how much it is tonight? No, when I call you, if you do your homework, you get it back to me in 24 hours, I'll call you and we'll talk about that. It says for how many days are different real estate investing programs and mentorship? For how many days? In other words, it has a time. I want you to be my partner forever. I do. But I'm wise enough to know that if you apply the principles and you grow, our NCNDs non-circumvent. That means you can't go around me and say, "Oh, I'm not going to share with you." Non-NCND, okay? It's a binding contract with us. We're not going to have that happen, okay? We're not going to have that happen. I'm not going to worry about that. But you're going to be tied to us for a certain period of time, and then at that point, if you don't want to do business with us after we made our money back and we made money together, that's then you grown. You invested, you did well, and now you're an investor. Now hopefully you'll pass it forward, as they say. And that's what I'm trying to do here. It says to invite your friends and or family members who are interested in real estate investing. Invite them. Pass it. Listen, you may want to have somebody that wants to partner. It's always good to have a study buddy. So between now and when I call you, okay, after you get your name, your age, um, all the information that we required at the beginning, and you email it back to me, be talking to your friends about it. Okay. This is a tremendous opportunity. And guess what? It's going to cost you less than a bag of groceries. Hello? I'm going to put it in context for you. Less than your bag of groceries. Okay? If you went to a store right now and you bought a bag of groceries, a shopping bag full of groceries, it's going to be less than that. Okay? So we'll talk about all that. I'm still looking to see, and whatever price I give you is introductory. Okay? If you come back, say no, and then you come back 6 months later, it's going to be more money. Okay? Because it's inflation. Because I have to continue my business and my family and what I'm doing. And we give away 50% of our money to help people, up to 50%. I said I'm a philanthropist, and I don't think people really caught that. I give away a lot of money to churches, schools, and nonprofits who assist people who can't help themselves. Okay. So I love you. I look forward to talking to you. Man, guess what? We are almost right on time, man. 6:08. We love you. We look forward to hearing from you, and you certainly should hear from me. This is Chris Ward. Thank you very much.
Thank you.